Well, welcome back. Forget lawn bowls or crochet. Not that there's anything wrong with that. These grandmothers are spending their golden years teaching other pensioners how to grow and cook with marijuana.
So Deb's doing a demonstration on the magical butter machine.
My health dramatically improved when I added cannabis and hemp to my diet as food.
Cannabis in the kitchen.
It's just the case of grabbing the leaf, grabbing the bud, grabbing everything and throwing it in a slow cooker.
It's 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds, 3/4 of a cup of water in your blender and blast it.
Cooking up what a group of grandmothers say is a wonder drug.
Cannabis does for us what spinach does for Popeye.
Things tend to be fads, and many fads have some truth in them.
Its effects on children with epilepsy are well known, but legislating for this controversial drug is a legal grey area and a medical minefield.
We can come in and show you. We're doing herbal extraction.
And you can get a dose that can cause you paranoia.
Should the floodgates open to allow dope to become part of our diet?
You all deserve the right to grow it in your backyard.
There is a difference between what we grow and what marijuana growers grow.
You're not going to die if you don't have a bong or a joint. My daughter will die without this medicine.
It doesn't seem legal, but for decades, Aussie farmers have been allowed to grow cannabis crops like this for industrial purposes. There are no psychoactive elements in these plants, so they can't be used recreationally. But under new laws, cannabis can be consumed as food. And if advocates had their way, farms like this would become big business.
It's a food. It's an essential food.
In community halls across the country, a group of grandmothers is spruiking the health benefits of cannabis. They call themselves the Canna Nanas, and part of their controversial mission is to teach seniors how to grow cannabis and cook with it. With information pamphlets, merchandise, cooking utensils and gardening tools, the grannies are set to go.
I'll talk about cannabis medicine and how it actually works, and then Karen will do, like a hemp food talk and do smoothies.
What the Canna Nanas are doing in these workshops is legal. The products they're using in the demonstrations aren't the real thing. They're not cooking or gardening with actual cannabis, but regular herbs.
Do you think it's a good idea to be encouraging old members of the community to be using drugs, illegal drugs?
I don't see cannabis as a drug, I see it as a food.
If people follow your advice and go ahead and start, making their own cannabis oil.
Oh, they run the risk of being arrested the same as I did.
Sure enough, the police turn up the day a current affair is attending one of the workshops. On this occasion, the police left without incident, but Deb admits she is currently fighting drug charges from a separate occasion when police found her growing cannabis in her home.
Some of those cannabis products will be shown not to work very well or to have bad side effects.
Dr. Jim Finn is the Vice President of the Australian Medical Association's Queensland Division. He acknowledges the evidence that cannabis can treat some illnesses, but says people should not be self-medicating or using the drug recreationally.
So it's very difficult to make sure that people are consuming a product that isn't going to have adverse effects. And let's not forget, it's an illegal product to do that.
The Canna Nanas aren't the only grandmothers convinced cannabis works wonders. Minnie Nelson never thought she'd be growing marijuana in her own backyard. But after seeing the effect cannabis oil had on her 10-year-old great-granddaughter Caitlin, who suffers from severe epilepsy and other major disabilities, Minnie was sold.
After 3 weeks, when I seen what I was doing for my great-grandchild, I was all for it. I couldn't believe it.
Caitlin's mother, Katrina, has been campaigning for more open medical cannabis laws ever since she started treating her daughter 3 years ago. She says cannabis oil, which she makes herself, has dramatically reduced the frequency of Caitlin's seizures and has been her only means of true pain relief.
My biggest regret is not starting my daughter on cannabis sooner.
And I think it's great what has given Caitlin a better quality of life.
In November last year, the Australian Food Standards Code was amended to allow the sale of cannabis hemp seed for consumption purposes. Hemp has long been grown as a source of fibre for clothing and building products, but now foods made with Australian produce will be available at the supermarket. Phil Warner from Ecofibre has been growing non-psychoactive hemp in Australia since the dawn of the industry. While he doesn't believe cannabis should be grown in backyards, Phil says cannabis medicine and food products should be more freely available.
What you can get from the cannabis plant, the industrial cannabis plant, is in a similar way to what you would get from an orange or garlic or something like that. It boosts your system.
If it is approved as a medicine, that's as a medicine to treat an ailment, but it's certainly not an essential food group.
Interesting. You should always seek advice from a doctor or qualified medical professional before beginning any new treatment. And you'll find more on that story on our homepage. Up next on A Current